Hello YouTube, my name is Scott, and I just got around to watching She-Ra and the Princesses of Power Season 2, Episode 7, which as it turns out was the last episode of Season 2. Now this was interesting. Bo had to up and leave Bright Moon for a reason that he couldn't explain to Glimmer or Adora, so naturally Glimmer decided they had to follow him. And they wind up breaking into what they think is his prison, but is in fact a library. As it turns out, Bo just went home. His two fathers, are both historians, and Bo is the youngest of 13 children, all of whom before him were historians. And his dads were convinced that he wanted to be a historian too, because that was basically what they decided for him. So he'd been lying this entire time. And in fact told his dads that Adora and Glimmer were friends of his from school. Now, as historians, Bo's dads had the largest collection of First One's artifacts and writings in Etheria. And after a few lies slipped out, Adora let it be known that she could read First One's writing. So naturally, Bo's dads had her read a thing, and it turned out to be an elemental, one of those mechanical centipedes. Yeah. And in the midst of trying to deal with it, they found out that Glimmer was a princess, which they didn't particularly care for because his dad George had been a soldier in the first Princess Alliance and it didn't go that well. And of course that Adora was She-Ra. And eventually that their son was a soldier. And of course they made up because the elemental was protecting a shard of a runestone, and they just gave the runestone to it, and it vanished. And all was pretty well there. But on the other side, Catra told Scorpia that she had let Shadow Weaver escape, and unfortunately, Lord Hordak's little giggling voice-recording gargoyle was lurking around and picked up the conversation. And Hordak gave her a chance to come clean about it, but she lied. So Hordak had no choice but to torture her, and that's where her role in this episode ended. The episode itself ended with Shadow Weaver, of all people, standing over Adora while she slept at Bright Moon. Seeing the relationship between Bo and his dads was really awesome. The fact that he came clean with them, and they accepted the fact that he didn't want to be what they wanted for him, and they loved him anyway, and immediately treated Adora and Glimmer like members of the family. I gotta admit, I got a little emotional at that. And Scorpia did this weird thing where, she wanted to comfort Catra, so she wrapped her up in a blanket and rocked her like a baby, which was super weird. But I guess it was just kind of her way of showing that she cares. But anyway, that finishes off Season 2. I'm actually glad it wasn't another battle, and it was kind of a lighter end to a season. Because I think if they just kept ending it with a huge battle, it would just start getting predictable. So, onwards to Season 3. Eventually. Not right now, but see you next time.